Hello and welcome back. And this is, I'm coming really close to you. This is me adjusting myself in my seat because I always do it after I turn on the camera. This is a late night tea with G. It's late night, and this is my tea. It's creamy peppermint, and this is my beautiful, look at this mug, oh my God, made by a local indigenous artist. A gift by a very good friend, a very dear friend. All right, 2023. What am I doing in 2023? What am I holding? I'm holding my my tarot deck I made out of the Soul Cards 1 and 2. I love this thing. This thing, I've been using it daily, people, daily. I reach for it all the time. It's starting to, the cardstock is starting to soften a bit because I use it all the time. Love it, love it, love it. All right, 2023. I'm gonna try to be concise because again, it's late night and I can babble, people, as you know. I can babble. All right. In 2023, I am going to continue with depth year. And I guess not depth year, focus year, whatever. What I'm trying to say is that I'm going to focus on more inward things. And basically, it's like what I'm trying to do is, this is my natural state. And because we use the term depth year since that article that came out a few years ago, and then for me, it's more like focusing on what's important. These are the things I'm focusing on. So I'm going to start with 1. I'm going to continue with not expanding. In other words, I'm not going to start any new hobbies this year. I'm not going to buy anything this year. So yeah, it's a no buy, but it's like I am not buying anything new this year. Nothing at all. The only caveat is whatever is required to run my household. Obviously, I'm going to feed my family. Obviously, I'm going to feed my dog, whatever we need with that stuff. What I'm talking about is the stupid mindless consumption that I do for numbing, for whatever reason, right? So I'm on a strict no buy. There's no decks coming in this year. There's no books coming in this year. So I'm not buying decks, books. I'm not buying makeup. I'm not buying clothing, unless of course I have to replace an article of clothing or shoes or something like that. But it's like because I really don't have anything else to replace it. Like it's like I'm really need it. No gadgets, no kitchen gadgets, no household decor, nothing that is not just to run the household, to maintain the household. I could give you a long list of things I'm not going to buy. I think it's shorter for me to say that the only thing I'm buying this year is food, the expenses for the house, to maintain the house going, my car, my dog, and that's pretty much it. That's all. It's the 3rd week of January, and I'm holding strong. I'm determined. Why am I determined? Because I'm focused this year. I'm focused on a goal, and the goal and this is the important part, right? Is unless it's hard to stick to something like a no buy or a low buy, whatever you want to call it, right? For me, it's not deprivation. It's because for me, it's a means to an end. I want to live below my means. I want to live below my means because I want to create a cushion so that I can slow down. I need to slow down, people. I need some work-life balance. And balance is the theme of this year. So this leads me into my word of the year and my theme of the year. Last year, my word of the year was boundaries. And I talked about it in my retrospective, my 2022 retrospective, what that looked like, kind of how it really, it permeates everything, the word of the year. And I did not come up with this word of the year thing. This is something that I learned from Jessica and the Moon. I love her. And I've been doing it ever since. And this year, my word of the year is expression. And I picked my word of the year the same way I did last year, from my Living Altar Oracle. I don't know if you could see this. Again, this is Late Night Tea with G. This is not Flip Through with G. It's not a deck flip through. I'm just sharing with you this card. And last year, 2022, I had the word of the year card, boundaries, on my altar, well, let's say 4, 5, maybe even 6 months. This has been out since I drew it for this year, and it's probably just going to sit on my altar. Yeah. So expression. Expression is my word of the year. And I'm already seeing, like, I thought it was creative expression, but so far it has shown it, this word has expressed itself in my life, or has demonstrated itself in my life as me expressing myself. Like, pretty straightforward, right? The focus for me this year is balance. So I have the word of the year, and then I have what is my focus this year? What am I focusing on? What will inform all my decisions this year? And this year it's balance. I'm looking for balance, people. I need balance because I am out of balance. All right. Next. I'm going to continue with creating more and consuming less. So I'm spending more and more time creating, consuming is probably, it's going to be hard to explain this, but creating more, which is I'm working a lot in my grimoire, and I'm working a lot in crafting. I'm slowly getting back into cooking more, and just being more present by making, doing, instead of numbing in front of the screen and just watching commercials, infomercials. I mentioned in my other video, I'm pretty sure I did, that I'm not watching flip throughs of decks and stuff like this. No. Any content that is consumerism focused or driven to buy and all this stuff. Oh, you really need this. Oh, I love this thing. You really need it. I love this thing. No, I don't need anything. I'm not buying anything this year. But here's the thing. So since this is the topic is because of what we talk about here on this channel, which is, tarot and oracle decks and witchcraft and all this stuff. What's important too is that I'm not culling any of my decks. I'm not getting rid of, rehoming, whatever, any of my decks this year. Anything that doesn't work for me goes into a box, the donation box. But the donation box stays in my home until the end of this year. And I'm doing this because last year I got rid of a lot of decks. And I still managed to bring in a lot of decks last year. Even with the ones, I got rid of all the ones that didn't resonate and the ones that weren't for me. But I still ended up bringing in a lot of decks last year for my taste. I repurchased, I want to say just under 10 of the ones I got rid of. So I replaced under 10. I received about a dozen in gifts, as gifts. And then I purchased, I think, about a dozen. Yeah. Now I enjoy them all, and I'm in a good place with that, but that's enough. Seriously, that's enough. The ones I purchased were, there's the ones I received as gifts, and then the ones I purchased with gift money. I gotta stop doing that. What am I doing? I don't need any more. So that's closed. Over the course of the year, I will share with you the ones I got that, I absolutely love, because I do love all of them. The ones I received as gifts, as well as the ones I purchased with gift money, and then the ones that I replaced. The ones I replaced were ones that I had gotten rid of in haste, and for the most part, I had to replace just under 10 or something like that. I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 10, 5 and 9 or something. But anyway, I think 8. I think 8 I replaced, and 2 of them it was like, why did I even bother? Because they're in the box until the end of the year. Okay. So yeah, continue with creating more and consuming less. I am going to continue with working with healthy boundaries. Just because the word of last year is over doesn't mean, just because the year's over doesn't mean that I just, toss boundaries out. No. It becomes part of me, right? Because I focused on it for a whole year. So, so I'm going to continue with, working on maintaining boundaries and my focus. All my decisions are going to be balance focused, like they're going to be in keeping with maintaining balance in my life, however that looks, in whatever, wherever I need to. And expression's my word of the year. Okay. Now, with the no-buy comes the drawing down of supplies, and this is a term that my husband coined, or as part of our household verbiage, drawing down the supplies. See, the thing with the no-buy is that I am then tempted to not use anything, and that is scarcity mindset. If I don't use anything, I spent money on it to store it, and what purpose does it serve? So the focus is going to use what I have in terms of consumables and move this stuff along. Use it. Use the nice candles. Use the nice Bath and Body products. Use the nice makeup. Wear makeup. Even if I don't go anywhere, wear makeup. Right? That kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to get outside more. I need to go out in nature. During the whole madness, I got really caught up in buying a lot of tarot and oracle decks that are nature themed. The ones I love, I still have. I've kept them. To be honest, most of what I have is nature themed. But the need is for me to physically take my body outside and go into nature, to interact with nature, to be in nature, because it is the biggest part of my spirituality, of my spiritual life, of what keeps me sane is being outside in nature and, going for a walk. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm going to be hiking every day and stuff like that, but go outside, get some freaking sunshine. I have spent the last 3 years of my life going from indoors to indoors where there's hardly any light. It was just artificial light. It's like, anyway, people, I need vitamin D from the sun, not from those stupid tablets I take every day that are probably bullshit. All right. What else? Okay. Working smart in all aspects of life. Not just work like as in employment, but I want to focus. That's where the balance comes in. Focus on working smart, not harder, smarter. Take for instance, if I want to learn something, well, find the information that I need that will allow me to learn something smarter, faster, rather than the long way. For instance, I'm getting back into runes, right? Runes was one of my first tools, spiritual tools, way back in the 90s. And I put them down and I didn't pick them up for like 25 years. So I'm getting back into that. So what am I doing? Well, I could go out and get a whole bunch of books on runes. I could start a journal, yada, yada, yada. No. I'm still doing the journal aspect, but when I hear people say that they're going to be studying whatever this year and it's a big production, life is too short for that. I already have an education. I've already have my degree. I don't need a fucking degree in runes. I just want to get back into it and experience it. Not learn, not study. Oh no, study is not for me. I want to experience things. So I've gone back already and I'm integrating runes back into my spiritual practice. It's so amazing how much you remember and how much is part of you that you don't even realize. I'm not doing any deep dive studying. This language for me gives me anxiety. This language for me turns me off. Personally, like, that is one way for me not to do something is to call it studying. Not. Because it doesn't excite me. What excites me is to experience. So the things I want to learn them experientially. And that's another thing that I'm doing in 2023. All right. So I think I've covered, tending towards being more frugal with not just my money, but my time and my energy. Living a little smarter is what I'm hoping for, what I'm focusing on this year. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to mention. No, I think that's pretty much it with what I'm looking forward to in 2023. I get really, really inspired when I watch other people's videos where they're talking about what they're not spending their money on anymore. Oh, what else did I not mention? Well, see, I've never been one really into Starbucks or whatever thing, right? I make my own coffee. I enjoy my own coffee, whatever. But all those expenses where I'm just frittering stuff away. Seriously, people, it's like I go to the dollar store to pick up some wax paper because I like wax paper in the kitchen. I'm a little old school. Well, yeah, I walk into the Dollarama for some wax paper and I walk out with $60 worth of what? Fuck knows. Cleaning supplies and dollar store stuff? Seriously? Who walks into Dollarama and drops $60? Me! I do. And that's if I go by myself. So that's got to stop. And I know here we talk a lot about the decks we're using and the decks we're wanting and stuff like that. I'm not watching anything. I don't know what's out there, but I got to tell you, I have to share this. I live in Canada. I don't look at an indie deck. For me is like way into the stratosphere. There's my friends and I were discussing just today that there's an indie deck out there that's getting a lot of buzz that is $190 shipped for a Canadian person living in Canada. $190 for pieces of paper. So, of course, I'm not going to do that. It's a no-buy, but I wouldn't do it anyway. And the whole point of doing the no-buy and being more frugal with my time, my energy, my money is also a reset. It's a mental reset. I got to tell you that it's, like I said, it's the third week of January, and because I haven't purchased anything, I'm less likely to purchase something. And it's not about deprivation, it's about sanity. And that's another thing. You have to understand why you're doing it, because see, for me, it's for sanity. It's for sanity, and it's to bring balance into my life. For someone else, if you're not seeking sanity and balance through a no-buy, then of course, and you view it as deprivation, you're working against yourself. Maybe you need to be doing something else, not a no-buy. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because not everything works for everybody. All right, so because we talk about decks here, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been really enjoying. And of course, I told you that I'm really enjoying my Soul Cards 1 and 2 reimagined as a tarot deck. I've seen some videos that people are doing recently who've done this exercise. It's very interesting to see how other people respond. I think I mentioned this in my last video. I'm fascinated at how we each view tarot differently, and how that translates in the images that we choose. It was clear to me when I chose mine that I don't, my tarot knowledge is based in the Waite Smith, because that's what I started with, and cartomancy / Italian cards, which is / Marseille, because the numerology and the astrology and all that stuff, right? Mainly the numerology, and Thoth, which is the latest that I've been exposed to and really, really love. And then there's the experiential, the energies, the images that conjure what that card means, what that archetype means. And my divination is strongly, especially with tarot, is strongly elements based. It's very elemental. It's strongly elemental, astrological, and numerological, and then everything else after that, in terms of imagery that's that alludes to religion, to history, archetypes, all that stuff. Okay. Anyway, and color. And color always ties into the elements as well. So this thing, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. And oh my God, I love this guy. He's so cute. It's such a happy death card. Okay, so this is one deck that it's been daily for me. For me, it helps me understand how I feel, which I don't know. I'm sure I've mentioned this. I've had this channel for a few years now. But tarot has always been a tool for me to help me understand the world around me, to help me understand the world I live in, and to help me understand how I feel, like to get in touch with, to understand what I'm feeling with regards to what I'm experiencing. So this has been fantastic. I brought an old friend out, I think starting last month, and we've been having a good time getting to know each other again. So, let me mention this. So I was going to do a whole video on deck modification, but then I figured out, you know what, I could just mention it in this video. I'm not modifying any more decks. I am not trimming them. I am not trimming decks anymore. That's finished for me. I went through my phase. I did it. I ended up getting rid of most of the decks I trimmed. I kept my Marielle because I'm bonded to this one. But one of the things I learned about trimming decks is that when I trim them down to the artwork and once I remove the titles, words are magic, and the deck would just stop reading for me. And it's not a question of I didn't know what I was looking at because I didn't know what card it was. No, I'm talking about even a Wade Smith deck. Cut off the titles and it just doesn't read well anymore. I had Magical Forest, Tarot of the Magical Forest. I loved it. It's so sweet. Didn't read as well because I had no titles. So I had pulled my Marielle out of retirement because I have some decks that I consider them retired because I wasn't reading with them anymore. When I first got this one, I read with it probably for a whole year, and it reads very literal, very literal. But something was wrong with it, so I spent some time and I put the titles back on. And let me see if I can show you one that you can actually see better. I just wrote the titles back on. And I did this with all the decks that I had trimmed that I still had. I had trimmed an Oracle deck and I put all the words back on it, and that was interesting. Thank goodness I found a video where someone was doing a flip through of it intact, because I wouldn't have remembered. I wouldn't have known what words. I put the titles back on this one and it reads again really well, like it used to. Words are magic. My dear friend described the trimming as amputating a deck. Now see, again, I hate that I have to say this. If you're watching me, you know by now that I'm just speaking for myself. And you do whatever the hell it is you want to do. I don't care. I'm just talking about what I do. And I have found in my experience that I have been able to salvage, for instance, I've been able to read with this one again and enjoy it because I put the freaking titles back on it. And I did the same for an Oracle deck. And I'm pretty sure. Oh, and I just replaced. I had a Waitsmith deck that I used to carry in my bag, and every time I pulled it out, it was like this thing just stopped reading because it had no titles. Well, I figured that out only because all my other Waitsmith decks read perfectly fine, but this one, it was like. So, I'm not going to be trimming decks anymore. Me personally. You do what you want. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. But in the comments below, let me know. Did you notice? Did you notice that when you altered a deck, that it stopped talking? I'm curious. I know a couple of people who said that, who shared with me they had the same experience, so that's why I'm asking. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else I wanted to share with you. Nope, I think that's it for tonight. This was a late night tea with G, and thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I don't know if any of this information is helpful to you. I'm hoping I inspired someone because I watched some content this weekend that I thought was really inspiring in terms of what some people I watch regularly, it's years now, what they're not buying in 2023 and what they're not doing and what their focus is. And to wrap it all up, I'm not buying anything, and I'm going to spend some more time outside in nature. I'm looking for balance. I'm looking to live frugally, to simply and just be more frugal with my time, my energy, my money, and just gain some balance, gain some balance, and be grateful, to live in gratitude for all that I have. And in order to live in gratitude for all that I have, I got to stop bringing some other stuff in. And I have to enjoy what I have. And just stop searching. Stop seeking. Stop trying to fill a hole that isn't there. All right. Now I'm done. Now I'm going to stop talking. All right. Wherever you are in the world, I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Oh, before I let you go, I do want to share something with you. I received a surprise today, and I have no way of asking this person if I can mention their name. But I just want to say thank you. I got this today, and oh my gosh, it made my day. I was so excited. I had completely forgotten that it was on my wish list. And Amazon wish. I completely forgot it was on my Amazon wish list. I hadn't even looked at my wish list, and when this showed up, oh my goodness, thank you. I am going to enjoy it. I'm already enjoying it. So thank you so much. And to all of you, I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Bye-bye.